In this video, I'm going to give you some information on some of the updates that have been made to Glean as of February 2023. I obviously couldn't include these in my playlist of videos because when I created those videos, these updates weren't out yet. So the main updates I want to cover are the fact you can now import audio into Glean and the fact you can now create card groups. So you can actually group cards together and notes together, which is quite helpful. So let's jump into Glean and get onto it. So if we go to new event here, we can just create a test event. So we'll just call this test event, nice and easy. We've created our event now, and we can see on the right hand side here that we can now import audio using this little button here. So this can be useful if, for example, you're ill and can't make it to a lecture. Then if one of your friends is able to record that lecture for you and send over the recording to you, then you can import your audio into Glean and then start making notes on it. So if you click the import audio button, we can see that we have a sample clip here, and I'll click on this, and this is an MP3 file. So if I click on that, it will just take a few moments, it'll import the audio, and you can see it here. And just to make a note here, it only supports MP3 and WAV files, so WAV files. It doesn't support any other kind of files. So if you have a different type of file, such as an M4A, what I'd recommend is going to something like Cloud Convert, or so something like this, where you can convert M4A files to MP3 files. So just make sure you convert any files that aren't MP3 or WAV files into that format or those formats before you try and upload them, or Glean won't accept the kind of recording or audio file. So we can see we've imported this now. We can press play and listen back to it. This is a sample clip to show you what happens when you import audio into Glean. The audio will appear in your audio pane and will be placed below any audio you've already recorded within the platform. So as I said in that recording there, any audio that you place in here is placed below any audio that already exists in your little audio pane. So if you've already recorded something into Glean, you can always actually add audio below that as well. So by doing that, if you already recorded that, obviously that import audio button disappears here, but you can always go up to your event options in the top right and then import audio there. So you can always import audio that way as well. Okay, so moving on to card groups. If we create a card, and a card is any note that we make, any heading we make, it's all kind of listed as a card. Say we made a note to say, can only import MP3 or WAV files into Glean, and that's our note there. So I'll just put that in. We've now put that little note in here. If we want to then add a card to that note, we can press this little plus button now, which wasn't there before, and we can press add card. We could add an image in here, so we could say audio, just see what comes up. It's kind of related to what we were just talking about. Click on this, for example, and put that image in there. And now that image is grouped together with this other thing here. Maybe we want to add another thing, so we'll add another card here, and then we'll make a task, for example. So we'll put a task in here. We'll say convert M4A file to MP3 before importing to Glean. And then we have created that task. We'll add a due date to 28th, which is fine. And we've now got those 3 notes there. And we can also reorder these notes by just using these little 2 lines over here and drag it up or down as we see fit. So we want to have the task at the top here, we could have that there. That's card groups and importing audio within Glean.